This is Football Friday, sponsored by Trusted Choice, Dakota Bank, South Dakota Department of Health, and South Dakota State University.
You're watching Football Friday on Dakota News Now.
And welcome to another Football Friday where teams from all three states are all playing. I'm Mark Ovenden.
Get used to it. I'm Zach Borg. There are plenty of big games tomorrow night with various bowl games, but tonight also is really busy.
And we start our coverage at the MAC, where O'Gorman hosted T-Area in a rematch of last year's wild game that T won 44-41. Now, the first quarter wasn't wild. The only touchdown came on a pick by Maverick Jones, and he takes it to the end zone. It's 7-0 after one. I'm thinking, we got to pick up the pace here a little bit.
I'm sick of tip ball.
They picked up the pace in the second quarter. 7 touchdowns in the second quarter. T takes the lead. Brenner Conrad to Jessen Wiebiga, and it's 10-7 in favor of the Titans. But Maverick Jones says, just give me the ball. 45 yards later, races down the sideline, and the Knights take the lead. Like I said, there were 7 touchdowns in the second quarter. I don't have time to show you all of those.
Defense option.
Jones had another pick, and that led to this. Hayden Gross to Ryland Satter. 41-30 was your final, but there were about 75% of those were scored in the second quarter.
Now, the best 0-2 team in the state is Brandon Valley. The Lynx losing a pair of heartbreakers to start the season. Tonight hosting Rapid City Central. To start off in the first quarter, Levi Verkna takes the handoff and Verks his way, spinning out of a tackle and fighting into the end zone for the touchdown. They would get a 2-point conversion as well, taking an 8-0 lead. Later in the first, Lynx on a 4th down. Jack Thuey drops back to pass. Hits Wyatt Melcher, who will get in for the touchdown. Makes it 15-0. Lynx go on top, and just before halftime, Brandon Valley driving again. Thuey will pass to Micah Nelson for a 43-yard score. It was all Brandon Valley in this game. They go on to win by a final score of 32-0 in that one. Now, our game of the night, we take a look at a few more scores. Again, we got those President's Bowl games tomorrow with Washington, Roosevelt, Lincoln, Jefferson, and the Tiger Bowl over at Harrisburg. Now, our game of the night was in Watertown, where the 4th-ranked Arrows in 11AA were hosting Yankton. Both teams coming in with a pair of impressive wins under their belt. First quarter, after a botched Yankton punt, Juven Hudson dives in, safe on the infield dirt, 7-0 Watertown. Next possession, the Arrows facing a 4th and 2 in the Bucks territory. They give it to Hudson. He gets 2 and then some. 33 yards for the house call. Watertown was rolling. They led 14-0 after a quarter. Brady Muth and Yankton looking for answers. Second quarter, Watertown looking for more. They get a bit greedy and the game turns. Trayton Hemrick picked off on the run by Tucker Gilmore, who returns it deep into Watertown territory. A few plays later, the Bucks convert with Lucas Kamshoff rolling out to the corner in the end zone for a touchdown. Bucks score 24 unanswered. They go on to rally and win 31-20. Take a look at more scores from 11AA. No shock there. Pierre winning big over Mitchell. And then again, your O'Gorman score, Sturgis and Aberdeen tomorrow.
Actually, 62-8 was your final on that Pierre game. Up next, lots of highlights from 11A and 11B, including a big rivalry game in Canton. Stay with us.
Welcome back to Football Friday, sponsored by Trusted Choice, Dakota Bank, South Dakota Department of Health, and South Dakota State University.
Any more 11-man highlights tonight?
Absolutely. We start in Class 11A in Hartford, where the second-ranked West Central Trojans hosting Madison. And late in the second quarter, it's going to be Big Ben Brooks, all 6'8" of him. He can see over everybody. To Shane Veenhoff for a touchdown right before halftime. 22-7, the home team on top. Start of the third quarter, West Central just adds to the lead. Jude Jarding takes the kickoff, and he is gone all the way to the house. West Central looking good early in this season. Your final score in this game tonight, West Central wins it 35-7. Now, I just love rivalry games like the one in Hartford we had. We also had a big one between ranked teams and Canton. That's where Cooper Seymour was. Coop?
Yeah, Mark, that's where the Seahawks hosted Lennox, with both teams off to a great start this season, and only one team is going to take a perfect record into Week 4 from tonight. It's 20-14 Canton near the end of the first half. Seahawks looking to score, but watch Ethan Larson, one-handed stab, juggles the ball, comes up with the interception. That saves 6 points, and it makes it a 6-point game still at half. But Canton coming out of the break methodical. This handoff to T. Granum. He's going to power his way through, shows them, I'm going to get that first down. There's nothing you can do about it. They keep that drive moving along. They get to the goal line. Kanan McCracken is going to get the ball here, finishes off that long drive with 6 points. They'd get the 2-point conversion. They need that one to stay close and undefeated. Canton taking the 28-20 win. Zach?
The Panthers of Dakota Valley are ranked 4th in 11A. Tonight they hosted Sioux Falls Christian. Late first quarter, Panthers' Jackson Boonstra takes the ball in for 6. And it's Dakota Valley who gets out to the 7-0 lead. Sioux Falls Christian's had some tough luck early on this season. 3rd and a mile. Lincoln Prinz escapes pressure and fires to find Braden Whitty for the first down. Now, even though this drive didn't amount to anything, they ended up missing a field goal. Sioux Falls Christian comes back to win this game. Let's take a look at the scoreboard. 14-7, impressive rally, even though, again, they didn't get the field goal here. Kind of botched. A great win for Sioux Falls Christian on the road. Let's take a look at some more scores. Dell Rapids out at Hot Springs wins a close one with a 5th-ranked team 11B 20-14. There's your West Central score. And again, your Canton and Dakota Valley scores with Sioux Falls Christian.
To Class 11B, where the Winter Warriors survived that overtime game to start the season with Tri-Valley. Tonight, they were in Beresford to take on the Watchdogs, and guess who? Aiden Barfus scores. He gets 6 points. On the ensuing kickoff, though, Geval Valder looks for an edge, and he finds it, and he's going to take it for a touchdown all the way, 87 yards, and we are all tied up at 6-6, but Winter was simply too strong on the ground. Barfus, you also got Carson Kaiser. Kaiser goes 33 yards for the touchdown, and Winter stays perfect on the road, winning 42-13 over the Watchdogs.
3rd-ranked Seahawks at Bridgewater Emery-Ethan hosting Parker at Sparky Anderson Field. Parker looking for a little spark. Landon Weeman throwing to Ray Travachek, makes a juke and gets pushed into Bridgewater territory and out of bounds. They did end up stalling on the drive, though, and couldn't get any points. BEE working it down the field on a long drive thanks to plays like this. Drake Gustafson to Landon Brummett, who makes the nice one-handed grab, gets the feet in, caps off with a 1-yard touchdown run from Gustafson. That ends up being pivotal. They get a 2-point conversion. Check out this final. How about great effort from Parker, only losing 8-6. Great game.
Quite a score.
Had a defensive struggle.
Last week I said Tri-Valley would be ranked, but all the 11B teams above them won, so tonight the Mustangs simply went out again to try and prove they should be ranked. Eli McFarland to Brody Dibvig, spins out, makes a move, brought down after a 20-yard gain on this play. Same drive. Colby Carruthers is going to get the ball, and he punches it in. That makes it 6-0 in favor of the Mustangs. They're playing Sisseton tonight. Second quarter, Tri-Valley's McFarland this time pitches it to Carter Sorensen. He had a big game last week, a big game again tonight. Dives in for the touchdown, and they win big tonight. Final score, Tri-Valley 46-0. Scores in 11B. Let's see if they got a chance to move up. Winter won, Sioux Valley won, Bridgewater Emery-Ethan won, EPJ had a bye.
They might, but I don't know if you can put Hot Springs down after losing to Dell Rapids.
Oh, absolutely not. So they're still going to probably be honorable mention next week. Maybe number 5. We'll see. 9-man highlights are next, including the most impressive team so far this year, the Parkston Trojans hosting Hanson. Always good. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Football Friday, sponsored by Trusted Choice, Dakota Bank, South Dakota Department of Health, and South Dakota State University.
On a 9-man, and the Parkston Trojans have been dynamite so far in 9AA.
Yes, they have, and tonight they hosted another very talented team, Jim Haskamp's Hanson Beavers. They are always good. Now, this number 7 had a great game last week. That's Coulter Kramer, but he sprains his ankle, and he is not a factor in this game. Last week, he had 5 touchdowns in their huge win. Matt Graves, very concerned about that. We had him on Calling All Sports yesterday. On the other side, the Beavers looking really good. Slava to Kaiser, big gain right there down to the 2-yard line, and then Slava takes it in for the touchdown. That gives the Hanson Beavers the lead at 6-0. The story of the rest of the night, really, a defensive struggle here, but Parkston would rally. Great play by the Beavs. They, again, held the lead early, but the final score, Parkston comes back to win this one, despite the fact that number 7 sat on the sidelines for most of the game. 16-6 your final.
A lot of people are going to need ice packs in that game. To the Elkton complex, where the 3-0 Elks hosted Cordell Wright's alma mater, the Deubrook Dolphins, also 3-0. Deubrook off to a hot start behind Jace Vomack on the sweep. He'll take it into the house for the touchdown. The team in white is out to lead. The Elks offense waking up in the second quarter. Offensive line says, hey, get on my back, and paves the way for a 30-yard score from Blake DeVries, who's feeling the breeze. He's got nobody around him for the touchdown. The Elk fans baiting the Dolphin fans a little bit. You're fishy, fishy, fishy. Then it's a Houdini play for the Elks. Colt Beck bouncing around the pocket, then hits Tanner Stein somehow in the end zone, who is all by his lonesome for the touchdown. This is a great shootout that Elkton-Lake Benton ends up hanging on to win 39-30, the final.
Great game. Now, some scores from tonight, 9AA. There's your Parkston win. Hamlin wins big. Howard wins big. Elkton-Lake Benton and Wall is going to win that game. They're up 34-6 at halftime. Cordell Wright was in Canistota tonight where the Hawks hosted the Falcons. Sorry about your Dolphins. They played great tonight.
They're going to rally. They're going to rally. But it was a battle of the birds in Canistota where the Hawks hosted the Falcons, as you just mentioned. It was also homecoming night for the number 2 Hawks. But this first play is actually going to be for the Falcons. Right when I walked in the gate, Carter Kohlenberg got loose on the kickoff, took it to the house for 6. Problem was Canistota already had 37 points. The backups were in early. They didn't play like backups. Brady Scott throws to Austin Weber. He goes up over the defender to get that one. That, of course, fired up the fans. So they go back to him later in the drive. He punches it in for 6. Canistota, they're going to fly away from the Falcons with a 57-6 victory.
Thank you.
All right, more scores out of 9A tonight. Warner all over Potter County, and there's your Canistota score. Woolsey Westington off Harding County. Jolly Ranchers also now with Bison with a big win over Lemon McIntosh. Phillip with the shutout win over Jones County.
And in 9B tonight, we had the potential for plenty of fireworks at one of my favorite venues in the state, Rickman Field in Del Rapids, although I liked it better when they had all those trees. Let's pick up the highlights. Third quarter, 22-8, Del Rapids St. Mary. Castlewood driving with a trick play for the end zone, but it's picked off by Lucas Flemmer. I think head coach is pretty happy with that result. Cardinals take over. That leads to this play for Del Rapids St. Mary on 4th and 1 on the 3-yard line. Nick Gaspar takes the pitch, goes into the end zone. They lead 30-16. They'll add more to that in the 4th as Lucas Flemmer again powers his way into the end zone for another 6. Let's go to your scoreboard.
He still has to mow the lawn tomorrow.
We'll see. I think Dad will do it. 46-16, the Cardinals win. Your scores in 9B. Falkton this afternoon. DeSmet wins big. Hitchcock, Tulare, Avon, and Harriet Selby all victorious. Jackson County off to a great start again this year. We've got highlights from their game in Worthington next.
Welcome back to Football Friday, sponsored by Trusted Choice, Dakota Bank, South Dakota Department of Health, and South Dakota State University.
And welcome back to the show and highlights from Iowa and Minnesota. We start in Worthington where the Jackson County Central Huskies took their talents tonight. Athletic Hall of Fame induction night for the Trojans, but it was all Jackson County in this one. This is Seth Stye taking a handoff, barrels into the end zone. It looked like it might be kind of a low-scoring game because the defenses were really good, especially for Jackson County Central. They just swarmed that poor quarterback. And they pitched a shutout tonight, but they also got the offense going after we were there. 43-0 was your final look out below. Let's go to all the Minnesota scores for you. Again, Jackson County Central, Hills Beaver Creek, Edgerton, Laverne lost to Jordan tonight. It was Dawson Boyd losing by a touchdown. Canby and Pipestone wins over LeSueur Henderson. Minneota also victorious. Tracy Milroy Ballatin lost, as did Murray County Central. RTR won, and Marshall beats Wilmer.
To Rock Rapids, where Curtis Eben's defending state champion Central Lions hosted the Falcons of West Sioux. Lions up early in this one. Graham Eben, I'm going to guess, makes his dad pretty happy on the QB keeper, the right sideline, picks up a couple blocks, sheds a tackle, and peace out on the 57-yard touchdown run. This one was out of hand, which we're not used to seeing with West Lyon. It was 49-0 at this point. They finally did get on the board with a Colton Koopman's touchdown, but it was 70-7. The final. Central Lions still good.
All right, on to Inwood, where West Lyon hosting a bunch of letters. It's going to be Tate Hoff taking it in for the touchdown, and it was all West Lyon in this one. Your final score, 49-0. Let's go to the scoreboard. and catch those Iowa scores. Central Lyon wins big. Lamar's in a shootout
Wow.
there. Emmitsburg, MOC Floyd Valley, Western Christian all win, along with Sioux Center, Sibley Elchiden, Spirit Lake, and Akron Westfield all victorious. And finally, game 2 of the American Association playoffs in Kansas City tonight. And this is Taylor Snyder hitting one to left field over that 300-foot porch. Let's just go to the scoreboard. They had 3 home runs. Final score was 4-0. Birds' season is over. They lose 4-0. They had a great year, but just fell short in the playoffs. The bats didn't work. Big game in Brookings tomorrow night.
Yeah, Montana State number 3, SDSU number 1. Should be fun.
Hope you enjoyed the show. Have a great weekend.